Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, whenever you're watching this Patriot Plumber Report. Guess what? It's here. I'm going to give you an in-depth review on the AC300 B300 split phase 240 volt. That was a tongue twister. Are you excited? Because I'm excited. I can't wait. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over everything on the AC300, connecting the two head units with the communication cable and with the fusion box. And I am just excited because this has been in the makings for a while, and Bluetti'S has sent me out another head unit and a battery and the fusion box and the communication cable so that I can come to you in YouTube land or Facebook or Instagram, wherever you're seeing this. So I'm excited. So hold on, give me a second, and then we'll start the test. All right, so you can see on my kitchen table all of the connections that come with the AC300 B300 combo, and this is the fusion box, which I'll go over shortly, but I just wanted to show you the equipment that comes with, and I will get back into it, and I can't wait to show you more, so hold on. Okay, so what I'm going to show you, first thing is first, this is the cable that the battery comes with, which is going to be connecting up to your head unit. Now, this is the older style, and you can kind of see right there you can see. Now, this is the newer style, which you can see that there's a little bit of a difference. Now, on the bottom, there is a warning, and I've seen on the forum, hey, I'm connecting up my AC300 or my AC500 and I'm not getting anything. I can't charge it. Nothing's coming on. So it is highly important that when you are plugging it in, that you hear a click. And that first click is the locking device that will lock on. You'll hear it click, click. Then this little button there at the bottom, that which locks it into the battery and into the head unit. Really important, super important that you follow these steps, because you spend all this money, you start messing with it, and all of a sudden it doesn't work, and you start to get the panic, the freaking out. Oh my gosh. Well, don't freak out. Watch this video, share it, and so everybody else can, have the same information. All right, so you can see the difference. So give me 1 second and I will show you how to do it. Okay, so you see it right here. You go to the battery number 1. Now, if you listen real closely, here we go, you'll hear it. Now, you heard that click. Then what you do is then you lock it into place. Now, let me push it down there. Then you're going to go to battery 1. You're going to do the same thing. Now, you might want to hold on to it just so you don't push it around. You hear the click, then locked it back in. And that's how you do it. All right, now that you're all plugged in, ready to go, you can see there's no lights on, nothing like that. What you want to do is you come over to the power button, long press, maybe 6-7 seconds. When the light turns green, take your finger off of it. It powers up. You can see the battery powered up. Now, you can see we're fully charged, 100%. Now, if you want to check to see if your battery's connected, you hit that and you can see stated charge, 100%. All right, so you're pretty much set up right there. You're good to go. So we'll go back. All right, now on the settings, you click over to the settings. You've got your language. You've got your AC output voltage, which we have it at 120, which is American. The 100 volt is probably overseas. I'm not sure. Then you have the AC output frequency. You got 50 hertz and 60 hertz. Put it on 60 hertz if you're in the US. Then you got DC1 input, DC2 input source. Now they're both on PV because I haven't charged anything through like lead acid battery or, through, the car charger or anything like that. I just do mostly off of grid. So then you hit the next. You can go into eco mode. Now eco mode, it'll shut itself off if it doesn't detect any kind of discharge for a while. So if you're living off grid, I don't think you should put that on there unless you can monitor it and all that stuff, because you really don't want your power to go out when you're living off grid. Okay, so then you have the machine type single phase, and that's just that one head unit. Let me scan out this for a second. That's the one head unit and the one battery. So then when we go into split phase, I can't wait to show you that. I'll show you what we'll have to do. Then you got silent mode, off, on. Now, the cool thing, max grid input. So it's at currently 15 amps. So if you click onto that, it says please make sure that the silent mode is turned off. And then you can go basic mode or advanced mode. Okay, so it gives you a safety disclaimer. It says BougeRV accepts no reliability for damage, injury, or any legal responsibility inquired directly or indirectly from the wrongful use of this project. So just hit yes. Okay, so then you're going to go to BougeRV. It's going to give you a code. So if you hold on real quick, I will be right back. All right, now that you put in the code that you get from BougeRV, and I just want to give a big shout out to their customer service. Gave them a call on the phone. I got an operator, told her my situation. She transferred me to the person that I needed to talk to, and unfortunately they weren't there, but the lady that I was talking about threw out an email to her associate, and within, I would say, 10 minutes of me talking with her, I got the code. So now, if you look on here, currently it's at 15 amps. But now BougeRV sells a 30 amp charging cable to where that you can hook it up to both head units and then plug it into your 30 amp receptacle. Or you can just get a single one and then plug it in. But I highly recommend, if you're going to do the split phase, you might as well, and if it's in your house, you might as well, get the dual. But that's what you have to do. Now I'm just going to keep it at 15 amps like it was, but now it's all set and ready to go. So we talked about the amperage on recharging. All right, so now that we went over that, and then it has your working mode, which is standard UPS mode. You got your single phase. We're going to be going into that. So this is single phase because it's just one head unit, but once we tie the two together, we're going to go over and then it'll tell us the split phase. All right, so what's the next one? We got PV, which is off. With Blu-ray, or Bluetooth is on. Bluetooth state is disconnected. Wi-Fi on, and all that state is disconnected. We've got buzzard, we got touch, we've got the backlighting. One of the things I hope that they do is they get a better screen to where you don't have to be directly in front of it. You can look down from below or above. That's one of my little things I wish they would do. You can set the time. I should be setting the time, but I don't. But I do. And I haven't even set, oh, yeah, at least the date's correct. All right. And then we got sleep mode. That's so when you're messing with the screen and you don't touch it for, a minute, it'll turn its back off. And then we go back to home. You've got your alarm. So if an alarm comes up, you're going to look into here. You're going to see what it is. And then either turn it off or figure out what your alarm is. Matter of fact, I had an alarm pop up today. It said low voltage from the grid. So I went out to my shore power where I have my surge protector hooked up for my RV, and it said it was clear. But then what I did is I had my batteries and everything in my room, and I had it plugged up into one of the outlets in my room, and it wouldn't give me the proper, I'll show you. If we go right into here, it wasn't giving me the proper voltage coming in. You need like 108 to 110. I was getting 103. But then what I did is then I hooked it up to that outlet, and it charged up quick. I mean, charged up fine. So those are some of the things that I've kind of gone through so far. So then you got your data, product information, inverter, charger information, battery information, alarm history. So you can always go in there and look to see what your alarms are. Go back. I don't have nothing because I've cleared them. But instead of clearing them, you can keep them. Go back. Your alarms. I went over to that. So you can check all of your inputs, your DC input, what you're getting, total DC watts, so on and so on. And it's just real easy. If you want to turn on the AC, which is all of these, you just hit the button on, off. Same thing as DC. Your DC outlets are going to be here and here. And we'll go over that some more. We'll just keep it off and all that stuff. All right, now we're going to come right over here. Now, you have a 12 volt, 30 amp connector for like RVs or van life. This will run, all of your DC outlets and stuff that are in your trailer or camper van. Now, this right here is a 24 volt, 10 amp cigarette lighter. Now, on the older units, they didn't have this. And this is really important. I'm so glad they put this on there, because if you put in a 12 volt, it's going to fry whatever you plugged in seconds. So make sure that it says 24 volt before plugging it in. Now, if you need to have 24 volt or 12 volt, you can come right down to the battery, and they've got the 12 volt 10 amp. So let's get back up to here. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. So then you swing right over here, and you have one 100 watt USB-C fast charging. You're going to get around 25 watts. That's what I've been getting on my my cell phones on super fast charging. And then you have two USB outlets, and this says it's a 18 watt and 5 volt, 3 volt, so, or amp, excuse me. Sorry. All right, so now we come down to this right here. Now, if you just got this floating in your house, you can hook up your fridge, you can hook up your TV, you can hook up some lights, you can blow dryer, curling iron for your kids. You can hook up a lot of stuff. But the one thing that I like is this one right here. This is your 30 amp receptacle. Now, this is what I plug in my RV. So it's 30 amp, 120 volt. But the cool thing about it is, once you hook up this and that, you'll get 240 volt, and I'll show you that when that comes to the next segment. All right, so we've kind of gone over everything, and I'll show you on the side as well. Okay, all right, so this top one, this is for your grid power. I'll show you the adapter in a second. This one right here, this is your AC input. And then at the very bottom, they've got the communication port. And I'll show you that in a second and all that stuff. But so there's that. And then you have your outlets for your battery extension. And I will show you the same down here. Now, the cool thing about this battery is you have this connector right there. I believe it's an MC, not an MC4, but I'll remember it in a second. And I'll show you some cool things that you can do with the battery. And then down at the bottom, you've got your plug-in for your charger. And I'm going to show you a couple ways that you can charge, which is amazing, because the cool thing is if you got power hooked up to here, you can also charge your battery separately or together through solar, through your grid, or with the DC charging enhancer. And I'll show you in a second what I'm talking about. Now, one thing that would be kind of cool, and I did see it on something else and I can't remember, but what would be pretty cool is to get rid of these little rubber things and maybe just have a door that slides. You know what I'm saying? So that, you know, once this is open, you don't have all this just hanging. So that might be something that they can do. So then you have your other port for your other batteries. Now, each head unit, let me slide over here. Each head unit can take up to 6 batteries. So if you have 2 head units in split phase, you can have 12 batteries for like a ton of power, and I'll give you those numbers in a second. All right, hold on real quick. I'm going to start showing you some more stuff on the battery and charging. Okay, so this is the charging cable that came with the AC300. You can see that it has a twist lock on it and all that stuff, and you're gonna see that little white dot right there is gonna match up with the little white dot that's on the side, and I'll show you that right now. All right, frown. All right, you can see how there's that white dot that I was telling you about. So all you're going to do is, let me find that white dot. You see that white dot right there? Then you're going to match it up with that white dot. You're going to give it a little bit of a snuggie, and then you're going to take your twist lock, make sure that it's in there all the way, and then you're just going to tighten her down. Let me undo this for a second. There we go. Because sometimes if you push too hard, you might do something to the thread. So just be patient. Make sure it's nice and tight. And then you're locked in. So that is your power coming in. All right. So now, here is the connection for your solar. Well, I need a haircut. This is your connection for your solar. There are 2 legs. This leg right here is controlled by its own MPPT controller, and this leg is also run off of its own MPPT controller. So you can get 1200 watts here, and you can get 1200 watts there for a combined of 2400 watts. That is impressive. But wait, there's more. I'm sure you've heard that a lot, but wait, there's more. The cool thing is you have 2 head units for your split phase. So you've got 24 coming on this side, 24 coming on that side, for a whopping 4,800 watts of solar. And that is impressive. But wait, there's more. And let me show you how there's more. Now, so you've got your solar coming in, and you want to add some more power into just the battery. This is what you need. Now, I got this with my AC200 Max, but this is the T500. So you can directly power this into your battery while you're also charging through the head unit itself. Which to me, I mean, that's a game changer, because you can isolate and you can just keep your batteries going and just making sure that everything's going to be working for you. One other thing, and like I said, I've got more. So there's one way to charge your battery. All right, so let me show you something. Now, right on the side, like I was showing you, is another way that you can charge your battery. So you plug in your adapter just like that, and you've got solar. So you can hook up 200 watts of solar directly into it. But wait, there's more. Now here's the cool thing. If you have that plugged in, so there's another way that you can charge. Now this, you can plug your T500 into it and then hook it up to the grid, and you can get power into that. But there's a better way that you can do this, and I'll show you. 1 second, please. All right, here's the game changer. I highly recommend getting the DC charger enhancer, because once you plug that in, you can get an extra 500 watts of solar. So in theory, you can put in around 700 watts of solar all by itself with the DC enhancer. They're around $109, but they're amazing. Now, there was something that another forum, another influencer was talking about. You can see that the max amp is 10 amps. Max voltage is between 12 and 60. What we found out, that it says the max voltage is 60, but we've actually, and I've seen videos, I haven't tested it myself, but Jason Noyd, he's on YouTube, he found where you can get around 73 volts. So that's going to totally help out to get you that max 500 watts of solar. So DC enhancer is a must. So what can you do? You can charge from the DC enhancer, you can charge from a 200 watt solar panel. And if you've got this in your vehicle, you can get yourself an extra long cigarette lighter adapter. So this one is probably maybe 2 foot, but see, there's that connection on the side. And I believe you can go online, Amazon, whatever, and you can get one that's maybe 10 feet. So you could plug it into your cigarette lighter, put it all the way back to wherever your battery is in your van or in your trailer. Not your trailer, but your van or your camper trailer. You know, something to where you can, you know, get extra power. And the cool thing too is, I was telling you about the 200 watts of solar. Well, you can put some solar on top of your truck or your van or whatever you got. And so you can bring that solar in while you're driving on top of your cigarette lighter. And that to me that's impressive too. Don't you think? Give me a thumbs up saying yeah. All right, hold on, I got more. All right. One of the other connections that you're going to need for split phase 240 volt is the communication cables. If you don't have one of these, it's not going to work, because the two heads aren't going to be able to communicate first phase, second phase. But so highly important that you get the communication cables. Now, I'm assuming if you get the fusion box, I think it comes with it, but I'm not sure, because, you know, Bluetti'S sent it to me, so I don't know if they just threw it all in together or if you have to buy it separately. But I would think that if you got the fusion box, that would probably come with it, because if you didn't have it, then it really wouldn't do anything. So communication cables, and I will show you how to hook those up. Okay, so another twist lock. This is the communication cable, so I just put it in there. Now you're gonna look on here and you're gonna see, let me get this in there, you're gonna see that little notch. That'll tell you exactly where it has to be. You got a notch there and a notch there. That's the bottom, that's the top. So hold up. Okay, so now that we're gonna be going into split phase, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're on both those. So now, one thing I want to point out, this is going to be slave number 1, this is going to be slave number 2. So I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second. So let's zoom up on that. There we go. Can you see it? There we go. There we go. So now when you hit this split phase, you might get a warning on the other one, but that's okay. You'll just have to clear it and then hit the split phase. So let me show you. Hit split phase, master, come over here, split phase, okay, so like I said, you got to get into the split phase. You hit the split phase, you go into the split phase, it's going to ask you master or slave. This one is going to be the master. I already did that. And so I did it over here as well. Go into my settings, go to next. You got split phase. Split phase, you can see that's a slave. Then once that's all done, you come back over to the master. And then once you get over to the master, I'll go right over here, you hit the on for the AC. And you'll hear a click. And then once you're done, you will be able to see the green lights come on. And once the green lights are on, means that it is completely ready to go. I'm just messing this up. I'm trying to do this with the bum leg. So you've got a master, you've got a slave. This is a little bit backwards. So this is the master, this is the slave. So you've got 120 here, 120 here, and then you got a 30 amp 120. You got a 120, you got a 120, you got a 30 amp 120. Once these are together, like we have it in split phase mode, and you see the green lights are going, then boom, you got this right here, and that is your 240 amp 240 volt 30 amp ready to go. You can hook up your dryers. You can then hook this up to what do they call those? They're a box. It's for your panel. I can't think of it right off the top of my head. Transfer switch or transfer box. So basically you take all of the lines that you want, you know, like for your refrigerator, some lights, you know, all that stuff. And you can run your water heater. You can run a well pump. The great thing about it is these have a 6,000 watt surge. Now I just saw a video where they were doing tests on like how much they can, you know, put it to the test, and I believe Hobotech got up to like 3,500 watts before it stopped, which to me is amazing. So now that it's all green and ready to go, I mean, if you had 6 batteries here and you had 6 batteries there, you could definitely hook 2 different freaking trailers up to one unit. You know, this one right over here is going to be doing my trailer. This one over here will be doing another trailer. And like I said, you got 2,400 watts going into there, 2,400 watts going in there. And that to me is amazing. Now the cool thing is you've got 2,400 watts going over here. You've got 24 watts going over there, 2,400 watts. You could actually have more power going to those batteries like I showed you before. So theoretically, you could run your ACs. You can run all of your lights, your fixtures, all that stuff. Now, I wouldn't recommend running your AC and then your hot water heater. I have a gas, or I have a propane electric, so I had switched mine over to gas. But you could, if you had that wattage coming in, it would totally help out on the batteries. So there we go. We are in split phase mode. Now the cool thing is you can use those outlets, you can use those outlets, and you can use these outlets. You just got to make sure you don't go over the 3,000 watt inverter. Now you have a little play, like I was telling you earlier, where you could get about 3,500, but I wouldn't push it. Just say 3,000. But there you go. So you've got your communication cables, you've got your heavy duty 30 amp, which then goes into this beautiful fusion box. Now the cool thing that I've been seeing, oops, let me zoom out. This box is heavy duty. I mean, it's solid. I mean, it's got a nice face to it. All the writing is visible. You even got this little tab where you can like mount it to your wall. But there you go, you guys and gals. There is split phase for the AC300 B300 battery combo. I just want to say thank you for all of the support that I've got here on YouTube. I'm up to 897 followers. So I just want to say thank you. You guys are what's keeping me going. Little update. Surgery is going well. Healing is going well. I'm going to be in the boot for probably about another month. I'm waiting for physical therapy. But thank you everybody that prayed and helped me get back to Idaho so I can get my surgery. Thank you so much. But I've been doing this, testing these products out for a while now, and I am pretty darn impressed with Bluetti. I'm really impressed with Bluetti's service department today, because like I told you earlier, I had to get the code so that I could do the 30 amp charging. So once you get them, if you're trying to figure that all out, you got to call customer service, and it even tells you on the screen and all that stuff. So if you like, please hit the thumbs up button. Please leave a comment. Please share with your friend. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Help my channel grow, and I will be doing more videos really soon. I was gonna hook this up to a well pump, but there's some more things I got to do to get that all ready so that I can show you how easy it is to run a well pump. But here's the thing. We are going into some crazy weather. Crazy weather. Like today we had nothing but bad rains, lightning, and then we had a windstorm, like 35 to 40 mile an hour gusts. But this Sunday and Monday we're expecting some snow, so I'm expecting some power outages. Today we had 2 of them, but I had my Bluetti. So I was ready. I was prepared. Are you prepared? Excuse me, I didn't mean to burp. Are you prepared? If you're not, check out the links below. Check out my other videos, because I've done a lot of videos with the AC300, the AC200 Max, EB70S, the AC60, the AC180. All of them killed it. And I'm living in a 30-foot Coleman special edition travel trailer, and Bluetti has kept my lights on, kept my heat going, kept my fur babies warm and happy, especially my daughter. She likes it hot, so I gotta keep her warm, keep her satisfied. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. Either if it's your wife, your husband, or your kids, one of them loves to be hot all the time. I don't know why. Anywho, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it answered some questions. If there's anything else you want to know about the AC300 and the split phase, leave me a comment. I try to get back to you as quickly as possible. But there you go. I'm all done. And if you're wondering why it got so loud, it's because of my heater. It just kicked on. All right. God bless. And thank you for tuning into another Patriot Plumber Report. I forgot to add something, and it's pretty important. So let me show you what I missed putting in. So give me 1 second. I'm going to flip the camera around. So now on your B300 batteries, you have, let me zoom out. Gosh, this is horrible. You have a 12-volt cigarette lighter. You have one USB 100-watt C charging cable. And then you have your little 18-watt USB charger. So if you wanted to take this out all by itself, you know, going camping, you could do that. And if you had a couple of things that you needed to charge, laptops, computers, or whatever, you would be able to plug it in right there. So sorry that I missed that, but that's really important too, because with those batteries, I mean, you've got 3,072 watt hours. Now, I just saw on a forum, and we really haven't got the right answer yet. And people have been asking, hey, can you hook up an inverter to the battery, you know, so that you can plug in stuff? Or one thing that I did see that somebody used is an adapter where you plug it into the cigarette lighter and then it gives you 2 ports. So maybe that will work, but I wish Bluetti'S would come out and say, hey, this would be a great inverter if you just want to take a battery out, you know, camping. You don't want to take out the head unit because you don't need all of that. That would be good to know, so that you don't buy the wrong one and, you know, hurt the battery. So Bluetti'S, if you're watching, let us know what we can do about adding our own inverter to the battery so that we can, you know, change it from DC to AC. That would be awesome. All right. This is it. God bless. Thanks again for tuning in. Like, subscribe. Check out the description for all of the deals. I know right now if you use my Power 3 code, you get 3% off for any generator with 3,000 watts or less. 5% off if it's a generator of 3,000 or more. So that's the AC300, the AC500, the EP, you know, 800. And then the lower ones are the AC200 Max, the AC180. So use the code, get prepared, get your power, get your food, make sure you're right with God, and I'll see you on the next report. God bless.